Okay, so dealing with Baiken Esme. Let's talk about her Roundstart first, as that's what we're going to have to deal with first. So what are normal Roundstart options Esme? Typically what we like to do is we press 2S. That's a pretty fast disjointed button. We can go into Wild Assault from it, right? Otherwise, if we need something faster, we might press S Dolphin. And sometimes like 5K is good to press in certain matchups. So let's see, what is Baiken gonna do on Roundstart? She's gonna probably Far Slash. That's a nice fast Roundstart button for her. Or if she wants to do something more non-committal, she'll do like ID back JS. If we start chasing her doing that, then she might do like some other option, air option like JD. Or she might just, walk back and watch what we're doing. Maybe try to whiff punish or something with a late Far Slash. So let's look at how our options play into that there. So if we 2S against her Far Slash, we're going to trade. Same thing with S Dolphin and with 5K. If she does that ID back JS and we press S Dolphin into it, then what's going to happen is she's going to be able to throw us when she lands. And then we can press like 5K or 2S. It's going to be the same either way. We're just going to whiff and we'll be in this neutral state. So what can we do to counter her Roundstart here? One thing that I really like to do is 3K. This is a fairly aggressive option, but you see if she does Roundstart, then we hit her, and then we can go in for a meaty 5K, and even if she wants to press Hiragi, if we do 5K from max range, it's just going to bounce off. So we're not really put at any risk doing that meaty 5K there. And if she does her ID back JS, we can see we don't hit her, right? But where we end up puts us at much closer range so that we can hit her when she lands. So that's a good option. Another thing that I like to do sometimes is I'll do micro walk back 5H on Roundstart. And there we can hit her with Wild Assault, or it's kind of going to be the same against this ID back JS, but we're put in we're put in neutral here, which is a pretty good spot for us. I want to talk about that next, but first I do want to make a note about one other thing Baiken will do to counter Mei specifically on Roundstart is she'll press 2S, which is good because it hits 3K. I think that was a little late. I think it might trade with 3K. No, it looks like it just hits it. Right, so no, I can trade. So 3K is not really great for us there, and then if we try to do like a delayed whiff punish button, it's longer, tier 2S is longer and slower, so we'll get counter hit out of it. So that's when we want to go back to R2S, right, R5K. These will both be options that can be that Roundstart 2S. Okay, so now what about neutral, right? So if she does that ID back JS or something like that, we did like a micro walk 5H, we're at about this range now. Pretty much full screen, right? So Baiken from here, she doesn't really have a ton of options to threaten us. She can throw out H Kabri, but it doesn't really hit us unless we run into it. And even if we do come up and like dash block, say, the situation is not really going to be great for Baiken if it gets blocked. So instead, what she might do is she might try to get us to come closer by doing something like this. If I can do it right. Should do like IID back, super jump IID back, Tatami, right? Or just super jump Tatami, I think works, right? Or you can just do normal jump Tatami. So this is pretty scary to approach, because you have to time it like really precisely to be able to hit her out of this. And if you do time it wrong and you have to like sit there and wait while her Tatami falls, right, and wait for her to do it again, she's not going to do it again. What she's going to do is she's just going to hit you with a far slash or a 2H, right? So usually, unless like we're really confident about being able to interrupt it, we don't want to approach her while she's doing that kind of thing, because approaching her is what she wants us to do. So instead, what I'm going to do, let me turn off this round call. Let's go a little further. So from here, right, what I usually like to do is I'll just throw this beach ball at her, and if she just sits there and blocks it, then we can approach safely, right? If she's doing her like air Tatami stuff, then she might get hit by it, or maybe her Tatami will destroy the beach ball before it lands. Either way, we can still use that time to, or I mean, we can just do it again at that point, right? If she breaks it with her air Tatami. And then, you know, when she sees that, if she's like on the ground when she sees it, and she might want to like do like something like IDJS, and just like approach over it like that, right? And if she does that, then we'll have recovered fast enough and we can just hit her with a 6P or with a H up dolphin, and interrupt that. So she can't really approach safely against that beach ball, and since she's the one like being pressured from here, right? Like, sure, she could keep like breaking it with like her air Tatami or whatever, just jump over it. But if she doesn't approach, it's just kind of bad for her, because she's gonna like slowly get pushed towards the corner. She can't really fight back in any way. She's just gonna be taking like chip damage, or maybe she's gonna get hit. She doesn't want to stay in this situation, so what we're probably gonna see is she's gonna like run at us. She'll probably like run at us and do like 2H or something. So that's good for us then, because a lot of our buttons, right, like when Baiken's coming towards us, are going to be a lot better, right? Like we have this 2S and this 5K. Like if we compare May's 5K to Baiken's far slash, May's 5K is like a much better poke, right? Because Baiken's far slash is 9 frame startup, and it's kind of short, whereas May's 5K is really long, it has 8 frame startup. So a lot of times really Baiken's not going to be able to safely close in on us if we're keeping her out with these pokes. And this 2S is disjointed too, and it's really long. It's a little slower, but it's still like a really good poke, right? Because of the disjoint. So she can't really approach against these buttons. So she tries to just run at us and do something. We can just poke her out with that, or even like if we have meter, we can do like S dolphin and then like convert and do a combo if she wasn't blocking right. Probably wouldn't do S dolphin if I didn't have meter here, because if she does block it, then you're just kind of screwed, and even if she doesn't, you can't convert that. So S Dolphin isn't really worth it if you don't have meter, but if you do, then like that's always just a really nice button to press against any opponent that's just running at you. Because if they're like running at you to like try and get past this beach ball before another one comes out, right? Like they don't have time to like do like this like inching forward kind of thing where they're like dash blocking and looking to see if you're doing anything. Oops, I just erased something. Oh well, that's fine. So yeah, likely she's not gonna block it if you press S Dolphin into her while she's running at you. And if you have the meter, you'll be able to convert it. And even if she does dash block it, then you'll still be able to start your pressure with a run cancel there. So yeah, I mean overall the situation is just going to be good for us if Baiken starts to approach us there. So now once we have gotten in against Baiken, what do we want to do against her, right? Because Baiken, she's got like some pretty good defense tools, right? Like she's got this 4-frame 5P, and she's got Hiragi, right, which is pretty scary reversal. I mean, obviously she can't Roman cancel it anymore, so it's not as big a deal as it used to be, but it's still something that you need to be aware of. So Mei has some good tools to deal with Hiragi. Let's see, let's just go ahead and let's turn this off now. And then let's have her, yeah, right after first hit. Okay, so if we knock her down in the corner here, we can do that, right? We can do a P beach ball, and that beats Hiragi, so she can't press Hiragi there. We can beach ball. If you do beach ball early, it will whiff, so you need to like delay that a little bit, but then you can do like a charge 6H from there, and it's going to be really hard for her to challenge that. And then after the charge 6H, no, that was too early. After the charge 6H, you've got like some pretty solid options, like you can frame trap there, or because it's guard crush, you can just go for like a throw, right, and she can't hit you out of it with her 2-frame. I mean, you can even go like command throw, so she can't beat it with throw tech either. So that's a good way to deal with Hiragi. And also, like, if she wants to do it on block, right, it's kind of just good, like, we can just do our pressure from out here, right? Right, and she can't hit Hiragi from that range. And like, even if we do, is that really, I guess it really doesn't last very long. But I mean, I could show you, like, even if she did land a Hiragi from this range, she's just gonna Mei's just gonna bounce off and we'll be fine. So this like kind of range here, like this like 5k 6h range, this is just kind of the best place for us to be in general when we're pressuring Baiken, because she can't reach us with her 5-frame 2p, even like from our full like 5k range, right? She can't hit us with far slash. So if we're standing like, you know, about this far out, this is it's just hard for Baiken to do anything. And like even if she like tries to like jump out, we can interrupt it with H up dolphin, or we could just like hit her with an air button or air throw, right? Right. So she can't really escape from here. So that's, and then we're just kind of free to just run like kind of looping pressure against her, right? Right, like we can do that, or we can do, well, I guess we have to be a little closer to do split, but probably we'll do like H dolphin. We can do like H dolphin split too, or we can just delay our split a little bit. I don't know. I guess, is it because Baiken's short that my 5 JPs are missing there? Anyways, right, you get the idea. So that's kind of how we deal with pressuring Baiken. Now, what do we do in the opposite situation when we're when we are on the defensive against her instead? So I did accidentally erase this, so we need to re-record it here real quick. Okay. Finally. Alright. Now that's done, let's go ahead and look at how we deal with this pressure sequence here. So this is pretty standard for what Baiken's going to do if she hits us with far slash and neutral, right? Or like we block far slash and neutral, or like mid screen. She'll do 2H Kabaddi, H Kabaddi, and she'll do the follow up and RC, and then she'll go for like a high low mix with TK Yosansen or 2H, and then she'll just kind of do it again if we let her. So how do we fight this, right? So the first thing to note, right, if she doesn't have meter, she can't like Roman cancel this, right? So if we see her do the follow up and she doesn't have meter, we just get a knockdown for free. So that's good for us, right? But it also means that Baiken's usually not gonna use the follow up if she has meter. Instead, she'll usually go for like far slash or something like that instead when this Kabaddi is blocked. So a good thing for us is that whatever she wants to do after this Kabaddi, pretty much, if it's not the follow-up, we're going to be able to beat it with S Dolphin. And we'll get like a counter hit, so we can do a follow-up with command grab there, and get a wall break off of that. So we can really discourage her from using H Kabaddi without meter like that. But then when she does have meter, right, she's gonna frame trap with that H Kabaddi, or not, with the H Kabaddi follow up. So then what, right? Well, then we kind of just have to hold this mix. If we block her Yosanzen, we can punish her for that, right? Or if she does 2H and we block that, then she just has to go like back into H Kabaddi again, and we can hit her out of that with S Dolphin now if she doesn't have another bar of meter. So if we just block that one high-low, then Baiken doesn't really have much for us, except then she's going to have to try and hit us with the tether instead. She's going to have to go for S Kabaddi and pressure, or she can try her Tatami. But let's take a look at the tether first. I think that's in this slot. No, that's taught to me. So I guess tether would be in this one. Alright, okay, yeah. So she's probably gonna do something like that, right? She would use the version of her throw where she doesn't attach the tether, so she can get the meterless throw combo off of that. And I don't know, I think they have like better setups off of Escabri than that. But I don't know them, so I just did that like very basic throw setup. But once we block that Escabri, that puts us at a pretty hard disadvantage because it's a lot harder to deal with her after Escabri than Hcabri. So we want to avoid getting in that situation in the first place. We can just do that by just doing like a fuzzy jump. And then we don't really have to deal with that as much. If she's a little closer, then she might go for this Tatami frame trap instead. Because, I mean, why do they actually do this? Because it's not like you can hit her out of Hcabri anyways. It's kind of just better if she does that. But they'll sometimes do like Tatami, and then they'll do Fire Slash. But you can see like we just counter hit her out of that with 2S. Or we can use 5K if we're a little closer. I guess like if we were in the corner, we would still be close enough to use 5K there. But I mean, really, like she's going to be far enough away that she's not going to have anything fast enough to hit us before 2S comes out. So if she uses the Tatami to frame trap like that, it's not really too threatening unless she does like some kind of PRC setup with it. So we can deal with that pretty easily. Probably like the last thing we need to worry about is if we're in the corner like this, then we get thrown by her. She'll do this kind of like air Tatami setup. And then she'll get like a high-low with Yosansen, and I think she'll usually use 2D for the low at this point to fuzzy crush. So this is like a bit more of a scary setup to deal with than the other ones, so what I usually like to do is when you see her putting out that air Tatami, you can just deflect shield. Like right then and there, you can do it on reaction, and just ignore that whole 50-50 to begin with. So that's pretty much it for dealing with Baiken. There might be some other like niche interactions that you have to deal with, but yeah, this for the most part should cover the interactions you're going to have with the majority of Baiken players. Oh, as a side note that I did forget to mention earlier, in the event that you're at this far range like this, right, and she's doing that like kind of air Tatami stuff and you're playing this game with beach ball, don't do this if she has meter, because she'll just shoot you with her gun super and you'll die. This kind of setup works against like a few other characters, but like the same thing go for them, right? Like Johnny at full screen, he can't really hit you with Misfiner from that far, so you can throw out a beach ball there, but if he has meter, then he'll just do Joker trick on reaction and hit you. Or like Asuka, if he doesn't have any cubes in his hands, this is like beach balls are a good way to prevent him from like drawing cards or recovering mana while you approach. But he also has his cube super, and That's something that, as somebody who also plays Asuka, a lot of people forget that he can use that as a projectile instead if he doesn't have any cubes in his hand. So watch out for those kinds of things when you're using Urisagata from full screen. Okay, well, I think that'll about do it. Hopefully this was helpful, and just let me know if you have any other questions about this matchup. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.